Wow, quite the hearing last night. You know, this is some pretty absurd theater that we're seeing in this country, unprecedented. But as I was watching and as I've been watching the coverage, you know, three words have come to mind, and they are cult, treason, and extortion. Now, these aren't words being used on the news, but they should be. Number one, the cult. One of the most striking things is the way that the leader activates his flock. You see Trump using Twitter, Trump using television, you know, speeches, messages, and you see that he's hyper aware of exactly what he's doing, of how much his words matter. I mean, that outtake of him was some creepy stuff, you know, of him kind of being unable to say on air, the election is over. I mean, we were watching a narcissistic sociopath grapple with facing the thing he doesn't want to face. It was pretty chilling. But you know, it's not just how he's doing it. It's the kind of robotic, blissful glee with which his supporters and followers and cult members are activated, and how much they revel in doing his bidding. I mean, look at the faces of all the people storming the Capitol. You know, and look at how careful he is. You know, when he's condemning them in that speech, it's like a petulant child, like giving an apology he doesn't want to give. I mean, all of this is a cult. I mean, it is not like a cult. It's a cult. I mean, you have it all there. These people are lost. Their language, their perspective, their agency, their entire humanity has been taken and replaced by allegiance to dear leader. And I mean, thank God his Twitter's away, but it's like, watch it, look at it, that is a cult leader and his followers being activated and doing his bidding. I mean, think of it. I mean, listen to the way when he's giving that speech, he talks about walking down, what is it, Pennsylvania Avenue. But he says very clearly what he wants them to do. He's giving them commands and they listen. You know, I mean, yes, dear leader, yes, dear leader. The other thing is treason. I mean, they're talking about dereliction of duty, and they're making this point on the news and saying, you know, it's he chose not to act, but it's not, he was acting. The riot was the false flag event so that the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys could do their thing. But Trump was also acting in unison with them by getting the riot over to the Capitol to provide the cover. Like Mao says, a revolutionary moves through the population like a fish through water. That is exactly what the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers needed, and that's exactly what they did. You see them moving like fish through the water. Right. So this idea that Trump chose not to act, you know, as an improvement from like dereliction of duty, it's still not far enough. He was acting. It was an active coup attempt. He was acting by not doing anything. His passivity was enabling his other co-conspirators to do their thing. Okay, so this is treason. It's not dereliction of duty. It's an attempted coup. And then you have extortion. I mean, he's literally calling other congressmen, senators, we don't know who he's calling, but as his barbarians are in the Capitol, as they are threatening everyone, he's strong arming them. This is Donald Trump, like New York businessman. This is the most obvious. All of this is so obvious. Anybody that understood how Donald Trump does business, anybody that understood the fact that he's a narcissistic sociopath, you know, his sociopathology has latched on after 4 years, right, of being the most powerful man in the world. He is that now. He cannot give that up. And he's making, I mean, terrifyingly, he's been making life and death decisions for 4 years. So this just seems par for the course in his disordered mind. He genuinely feels entitled to the presidency at this point. I mean, look at this Axios report coming out that he's planning this, like, what it would look like in in 2025 if he won. He's planning to overtake the whole government, fire everyone. I mean, he's openly saying, like, I'm going to just become a dictator. I mean, he's never, you know, and again, so this is extortion is the right word. So all of this stuff going on is literally insane. Nobody's using the proper words, and we really need to get a handle on the proper framing of this.